Welcome to Pyramidtimes. We have with us guest Kris. He is an ardent meditation practitioner for more than 20 years and have been teaching meditation to the community from past 15 years. He has conducted a number of meditation sessions across various countries including India, USA, Singapore and Australia. He is a member of International Meditation Teachers Association. He also started a community called Breath Universe in 2017, through which he conducts meditation and mindfulness sessions across Australia and globally over online platforms. He has experienced immense benefits in the last 20 years of meditation practice and felt that it is his duty to give this greatest gift to one and all, and teaching meditation and listening to experience of people who get benefited from this is his true passion. And he also listens to lot many masters across the globe, and he also has read several books which are inspirational and also of spiritual nature. So with this, I would welcome Kris to Pyramidtimes show. Welcome, Kris.
Hi, thanks, Veena, and thanks to Pyramidtimes team for welcoming me, inviting me to this platform. So yes. Through which, and I have been following your works on a lot of talks and connecting knowledge across the globe, introducing so many dimensions of knowledge through different masters. And I'm privileged, and thank you so much for inviting today to this interview.
So today our topic is on breath. So Hari, what fascinated you about breath, and what is the importance of breath?
Exactly. That's a pretty good question, and a very close to my heart question. And I would say that's my flag. So breath is the flag that I'm just holding throughout my journey. And to start with, Veena, so basically I have started practicing meditation when I was at a very young age. Okay, so when I say young age, started seriously practicing meditation from when I was in my teens, 16 or so. What fascinated me in the journey in the first couple of years was the experiences that I have been through, that the benefits that I have got from meditation were just outstanding and amazing. It's magical for me. They were magical for me. I never expected. And because I started at a very young age, I started like my journey used to be very scientific. I used to always ask this question called why. How can meditation give concentration? How can meditation make me understand the patterns and break the patterns? How can meditation bring this confidence in me to be able to talk to people publicly when I was a very shy person, before meditation? So what is all this? So how can meditation, bring good health, bring good wealth, bring good career? I'm just talking about material benefits. There are so many other things. How can meditation make me see people which I haven't met or seen them physically before? So I used to see people in meditation, like I used to see people before in meditation and then later meet them physically sometimes. How can this happen? So I used to question all these experiences in my journey, and then used to just rush behind or run behind these questions and go and meet masters, read books, experiments, and all of this. So in my journey, I have come to a conclusion at one point that all this happened just by me catching a breath. That's the starting point. That's the first step. If I haven't caught my breath, then all this magic would have never happened. So all other things have followed the breath. Okay, so that's when I realized and started exploring what is this breath connected to. Okay, I started exploring, using breath, can I get into good career? Using breath, can I be healthy? using breath, can the society become more prosperous? Or how about all these violence? Can breath solve the problem of violence? Okay, can breath save the animals that are dying every day? So I started exploring each of the concepts. Can breath solve the problem of suicide? So if I go deeper and deeper, I could see that breath can solve any problem in the world. So breath is bridge to not just one or two things. Breath is bridge to everything. So whatever. So from then on, I started experimenting. Whomever friends I meet, or whichever class I go to, I used to ask, okay, what do you want? Oh, sir, I have this problem. I have fear, or I have. My friends used to say, I am unable to concentrate. I have this trauma. I have this problem. I am into depression. My girlfriend ditched me. My boyfriend ditched me. Whatever problem it is, I used to give them this solution called breath. Okay, follow the breath for 40 days and see what happens. Every person till date, whomever that I have introduced to breath, different dimensions of the problems have been solved. So now, at one point back in 2016, after 16 years of my practice, I am absolutely sure that breath is the bridge to everything. It is one-stop shop for everything that we can think of, to move spiritually, to understand yourself, to understand your body, to understand your different layers of the system, to understand where we have come from, to understand what the purpose is, okay, to solve any problem globally. Even today, the problems like terrorism, the problems like violence, these are actually not problems. The events that are happening, which can be harmonized or can be done in a different way, all these problems can be solved through breath. So that's when I have got my message, you can say. I don't want to, I try to not to use the hi-fi words. So it's a message from my way of my gurus and my inner journey. It's a message that I need to start this platform called Breath Universe. So I have coined this name as Breath Universe because breath and universe sends a meaning like it's everything. Universe means everything. There is nothing else left other than universe. So my idea is, or the message that I have got and my purpose is, breath is everything, is the core motto of Breath Universe. So from then on, this is everything in my life. So whomever I come, I don't give anything more. I don't introduce them to so many techniques or great things. Catch the breath. That's where everything lies. So breath is my message. I am the breath ambassador is what I can say.
That's wonderfully explained. Also, there is a statement saying that God has breathed life into us.
Exactly.
Yes. So
exactly.
That's very powerful.
Exactly. So that's the most powerful thing. So see, if we take an example of any problem, you say, once I met a person in Bangalore in India. So he was working on to save cows, okay, from killing the cows. So he was a great professor in IIMS in Bangalore. Okay. So he was actually, how he was doing is, he used to print pamphlets and he used to take sessions to people and motivate people and then tell everyone on how we can save cows. So I have explained him how we can save cows just by making a person catch the breath. So I told him, so you do your campaign. In your campaigns, I'll come and do my meditation sessions, or I'll give this breath. So how can it save a cow? So it's for a logical brain or for a logical understanding. How can breath save the massacre of cows? Who massacres the cow? Few human beings. Imagine if that person, without telling, don't talk about even massacre of cows or anything, just give the breath and tell him, market him that you can massacre the cows much more in a better way. But what breath does to a person is, it makes the person sensitive. We'll be able to sense everything more, I would say, narrowly. Okay, so it's not distracted sensitivity. So the sensitivity is very pointed. That means when we are doing something, so our sense is completely active. When we touch something, so how it touches, how we feel, whether it is cold or hot or whatever it is, right? So the sensibility increases, the sensitivity increases. So when we are doing a work, it increases our sensitivity. So when we are sensible to be able to sense the pain of something, how you will be able to massacre? No one need to tell. It's all about sensitivity, right? So let's say if a small ant is crawling on our hand, okay, if we are not sensitive enough to sense that small ant, we don't look at that. Okay, imagine a lizard or something bigger is crawling on your hand. You are sensitive enough because it is big, so you'll be able to avoid that immediately. What if your sensitivity increases to the level that even if an ant crawls, smallest ant crawls on your hand, and if you're sensitive enough, you'll be able to take some action. You'll be able to, get rid of the ant or do something about it. So the problem in every human being is all about sensitivity. We are not sensitive enough, to be able to sense different aspects of life, even the environment. We are not able to sense environment. We are not able to sense ourselves, our body. So the moment we become sensible, improve the ability of our senses, that's it. No one need to tell anything. Everyone knows. Everyone is already that. It's all about, this is what in spirituality people call awakening. Awakening is a huge word for people. Awakening burdens a lot of people. When you say, oh, if you do meditation, you awaken yourself. In short, you become sensible. The common sense arises in us. So he was very impressed. The professor was very impressed. He's like, yeah, you're right. Until and unless a man changes from inside, nothing happens outside. So as you know, the world that we are seeing is nothing but a reflection of all of us, right? So that reflection changes only by becoming sensible, and we can become sensible only by catching our breath, is what my message is.
It's so profound. Like by doing meditation, which we teach Anapanasati, which is a Buddha thought meditation. So when we sit in the meditation, we definitely couldn't sense even the borders of our own body. We can't sense where we are exactly ending. Where is our skin boundary? We can feel.
Exactly.
We can definitely become sensitive to the atmosphere we are in and all.
Exactly.
And also, it is said that breath is the connection between body, mind, and soul.
Exactly.
So how exactly?
Breath is the connection between body, mind, and soul. That's a very practical subject in my point of view. So these three are the core elements, most prominent layers of the human self. There are other layers as well, different bodies, chakras, a lot of things. But these three are the core prominent, and anybody can understand. What is body, you can say. What is mind, you can say. And what is soul, probably you cannot say, but everyone knows this word. At least in any country, everyone knows this word called soul. So the most prominent and the most popular words. So coming to the subject of how breath is connected to these three. When we are in the womb of our mother, we breathe through the mother. Okay, so whatever mother is breathing, that's what we start breathing. That's when we tend to take a breath, start to take the breath inside the mom, but through the mom, most prominently, not on our own. It's a kind of a practice. Okay, practice session that happens. So everything happens through the mom. When we come out and take the birth, that's when we start to take the breath individually. That's the first lesson that we learn. That's the first lesson. Okay, that's the first lesson that we learn to connect to the earth, to connect to the life on earth. Until then, life is not on earth. Life is in the body, in mother's tummy, right? So our world is just that. But the first connection to the earth, the life on earth, is breath. So if we don't breathe, if you see, when babies cry as soon as they take birth. So if they don't cry, doctor tend to give a beat or pinch or do something for the baby to cry. The crying is the outcome of the first breath that we take, the discomfort that we have in taking the first breaths on earth, the fresh air that is coming from outside, and start taking the breath. Okay, so the first connection for ourself, for our life on earth, is breath. There is no doubt about it. Nothing else starts. We don't eat to start life. We don't drink something to start life. Okay, the first connection is the breath. Without breath, we don't start life at all. So that is the birth. That is the connection between our breath and the birth. So breath and birth starts at the same time. Okay, and when we die, the last thing that we lose is again the breath. So the moment we lose the breath, that's when we die. People say we left the body or we die. So that means we are taking the birth with the breath and death with the breath. That means there is no doubt about it that breath is the link between birth and the death. It is the connection. Okay, so that's the first step that everyone can understand. So there is something profound, right? And the next aspect that I want to tell is breath happens. We don't do we can't do deliberate breathing for a long time. We don't deliberate the breath. Breath happens on its own. That means it is a natural thing. It is a happening. We are not doing it. What happens on earth? If you see anything that happens on earth, that is nothing but nature. Nature is nothing but God. A tree happens. A waterfall happens. Right? Sprout happens. Okay? A river flowing happens. An ocean happens. So things that happen are nature and God. So the breath that happens is nature and God. That means breath is the nature that is living within us. Breath is the natural aspect that are living within us. Okay, so what is keeping us alive? What is entering into our body to keep us alive is nothing but that God, that nature that is living through us, which is keeping us alive in this body. Okay, so now the first connection with the body, mind and soul, you said the first connection to the body, the proof that we have is birth and death. If there is breath, there is birth. If there is no breath, there is no birth. That means our body lives on breath. So whatever that we want to do with our body, okay, we have to go to the roots. If we have to go to the roots, if something is wrong with the plant, okay, if we need to water the roots, right? So if for a plant to grow, we have to water the roots. Yes. So likewise, if we have to grow this body properly, groom this body properly, we have to water the breath. What is watering the breath? To be more connected to the breath, to be more in tune with the breath. The body should be in tune with the breath. The plant, like the plant, should be in tune with the root. Can we take the roots off, or can we cut the plants off and separate the root and the plant and then throw it and then expect it to grow? It won't happen like that. So the root and the plant are one. They should be in tune. They should be in sync. It is a science. The whole process of photosynthesis and everything should happen Just like that, the breath and the body should be in sync and in tune. And we learn this by start observing the breath. Start understanding how the roots are going to be. We need to make if we need to water the plant, we need to arrange some sort of space around the plant and make sure the water is there, and we fertilize it. And how we do that? We learn all that through meditation, by being with the breath, and by that our body can be savior, right? And the second, mind. This is also a simple example. Mind is not brain. So mind is nothing but a group of thoughts. Where are these group of thoughts? It is not a physical thing that is there. So the understanding that we gather from our childhood till now, right? So form a kind of a thought ball. Okay, so it's a kind of a sphere thing that has a lot of thoughts filled in. So that group of thoughts is nothing but mind. If we sit in meditation and if any of us observe, the moment you observe the breath, there will be no mind. The thoughts will start coming down. The moment you don't observe the breath, the thoughts will pop up and start coming. This is the link between breath and the thoughts. I mean, this is the proof that there is link between breath and thoughts. Okay, and our breath changes when we are angry. Our breath changes when we are happy. Our breath changes when we run physically. Our breath changes when we see some person. Our breath changes even according to the place we are in. If we are in a temple, our breath will be different. If we are in a fish market, our breath will be different. If we closely observe, our breath resonates to every single thought that we make. We just have to observe that. So this is a proof that breath has direct link with the thoughts, right? That means, again, here I state that breath is the root of the thoughts. If we imagine thoughts as a plant, breath is the root. So for the plant to grow prosperously, for the thoughts to be healthy, we need to water the breath again. That means first we need to understand the dimensions of the breath. That means, if my breath is harmonious, how are my thoughts? If my breath is not irregular, how are my thoughts? Or if I control my thoughts, so how to get these breath and the thoughts in tune to be able to live in harmony? Okay, so that's what we need to understand. Again, if we go back to soul, I don't want to make see why I struggle. Sometimes I struggle telling the concept because I don't want to use the philosophical or the core spiritual wordings. I want to simplify the topic because I want the natural person, the normal person, to sit here and understand what body, mind, and soul is. Soul, for now, let's take out all the understandings that you have. Soul is nothing but, for now, let's say life in you. Life in you is nothing but soul. Life means in this body something is coming and then leaving. I said breath is coming and breath is leaving. Okay, along with the breath there is something that is holding, okay, which is gathering all the information that is coming into this body. That means when you see a waterfall, the experience that you get is recorded somewhere. Okay, when you talk to a person or when you spend your life with a person, the experience that you get from that interaction with a person is stored. It's like a memory. It gathers, it extracts. Okay, it is a supercomputer which has an ability to store and also use that understanding in future. Okay, let's say when we are a child, someone showed you a beautiful flower. You don't know what that flower is, and then they said it's called rose. It's a beautiful flower, and then it smells so good. Okay, all this information has been recorded, right? So this experience, you will take it forward, and then in next moment when you see a rose flower, the expression that you have got okay, to express yourself to the same flower or the experience that you have gathered, right? So that mechanism of this recording and expressing and using that knowledge and then gathering more information and then storing it and taking it forward. So some mechanism that is helping you to evolve through the lives, evolve through the days, forget about lives also, evolve through each day is the soul. Okay, so again, for this to work, if there is no breath, your soul cannot be in this body or in this mind. If the soul is not in this body or in this mind, how can it record and experience? If you don't have body, you cannot touch anything. If you don't have nose, you cannot smell anything. If you don't have ears, you cannot. So if there is no experience, there is no expression. Okay, so there is no feeling. So for the soul to evolve, day by day and grow, expand its consciousness, breath is required. That means again, breath is the root which is required for this soul. So likewise, without this body, mind, soul coordination, there is no life. There is no incarnation. There is no purpose. There is no this human being. There is no animal. There is no plant. Nothing is there. So everything has this body, mind, and soul. And as a package, we are learning and evolving through the lives. Right? So for any of these to function prosperously, breath is the root. Harmony in the breath, there is no harmony in the soul, there is no harmony in the body, there is no harmony in the thought world. So for these three to work in harmony, breath has to be harmonized. And only when these three are in works together, in line and in tune, I will call that life. Otherwise, it's like a paralyzed life. We don't know. It's like a madman's life. Okay, we close blind life. We close our eyes. We don't know what our body is doing. We don't know what our mind is doing. We don't know what our soul is doing.
Yeah, very beautifully explained how breath is important to a physical body, and altering the breath can change even mindset also.
Exactly.
And the breath has all the imprints of the soul across lifetimes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So how meditation can contribute towards a healthy and happy earth?
How meditation can help. So as I said, breath can make us more and more sensible. Okay. Now let's say we have become sensible now, very sensitive. Okay. Let's say we were, for example, I would like to give an analogy here in terms of, let's say once till yesterday we were not sensible to anything at all, a paralyzed body, for example. Okay, so now something happened and then now we have become sensible. Okay, so meditation and breath has made us sensible. So means if we touch something, we'll be able to tell if it is cold, if it is hot or something. But who is going to tell us? Who is going to tell us what to touch and what to touch and what not to touch, what to sense and what not to sense? That means just because we are sensible, we cannot jump into the fire and then say it's hot, right? So we cannot jump into something else and then try. So we don't know that. So what meditation does is not just making us sensible, it gives a direction to our sense as a whole. Okay, so meditation is like a guide. It gives us all the tools, all the support that it requires, that through messages, through books, through different tools that we have. It enables us to tune the direction. So when are we going to fall, what to enter, what not to enter, how to go, that's what we call as purpose. Our purpose is nothing but a navigation channel that it gives to us when we become sensible. Okay, with this sensibility, how to move forward, what way to take. So when we sit in meditation, okay, breath gives us, till now I said breath makes us sensible. Okay, breath makes us sensible. What are these experiences about? People call third eye, people call astral travel, people say, I have seen some sceneries, or forget about all these experiences. Some say I don't have anything, or some say, you know, it improved my concentration. But I haven't seen any vision still now, but I can see my thought process has changed, thought patterns has changed. Or people say I have shivering in my back, or I have shivering here, or different experiences people say. Or some people say, the moment I have a question, I get so I get the answer from a person or a book or something. Okay, so how is all this happening? So that's what meditation does. Breath makes us sensible. What meditation does is it enables the tools that we have within us to guide us on which way to go, which way not to go, what's the next step going to be. It gives us the support through guardian angels or whatever it is. These are all different tools that we have, just like hand and fingers and eyes that we have, right? So let's say we never had legs, okay, and paralyzed legs, and suddenly we got legs now. I mean, so suddenly our legs are working now, so we can walk, okay. And if we close our eyes and walk, just because we have legs, if we close our eyes and walk, we won't be able to reach the distance. We'll hit something, right? And if we open our eyes and walk, then we know which way to go, because our eyes tells us, oh, there is a hurdle here, or there is a path here to walk. So what meditation does is it gives eyes to our sensibility. Just like eyes give the direction for our legs to walk, okay, meditation gives the eyes to our sensibility that we are going to get through breath.
Yes, very beautifully told. It's not just the physical senses that we have access to, but we have this access to other senses, extra sensory perception also we can get, through which we can see the bigger picture of the life in general.
Exactly.
That's so very powerful. And you have a nurturing group called Breath Universe. So what is the concept behind it, and what is the work done over here?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking. So Breath Universe. See, the core messages of the Breath Universe is breath, energy, love, and light. So we have a logo you can see in my background, where we, under the logo, I don't think the letters are very small, so I call this as bell. Okay, Breath Universe tagline is bell, ring the bell. So the bell is breath, energy, love, and light. Okay, these are the 4 pillars of Breath Universe. So breath is the first message that we give. First of all, we have to become sensible. Okay, and then the second is energy. So in the moment we become sensible, this energy is something that I'm linking to meditation. When you do meditation, what you get is energy. So this energy is nothing but an experience, is also an energy. As I said some time back, energy gives the direction to the sensibilities that we receive. So breath, and we need to know how to use the energy, how to direct the energy. So energy is our second message. And the third one is love. Love is nothing but the responsibility. To me, love equal to responsibility. That means the responsibility towards, only if a mother loves the child, takes care of the child, what does it mean? It is nothing but a responsibility, right? So mother is the most responsible person towards the child in the world. Why? Because she loves. So love gives the responsibility for everyone, right? So my message is to induce this love. How to develop this quality? It's not even developing. Explore what we already have inside. What is stopping us to be in love? Okay, is our third message. And light. And fourth pillar, and the most important pillar, is give this. And what does a light do? It just gives the light to everything around. So every person who is working in Breath Universe, or who's part of Breath Universe, has to become a light and share whatever it is. It's not just meditation. You have a book, nice book that you read, give it to someone. Okay, share it. You have a message that you got, share it. You got meditation, okay, share it. you got some experience that you want to share joy, whatever you have, become the light and share everything that you have to the people around. So that's our fourth message. So through Breath Universe, we have conducted a lot of sessions myself, and also we conduct programs by various masters, okay, across the globe on online platforms and also physical platforms. And we have done a summit called Breath Awareness Summit, and which we are planning to start again. It will be a 5 days virtual summit where different masters across the globe come and talk about breath and the importance of breath and how to different techniques of breath. Anyone who talks about breath is going to come onto this platform and talk about it. And we are doing, we have recently started a program called Guru Sangatya. It's a once in 6 weeks program where the master comes, and this program is all about for the participants to be able to interact with the master. It's not about talks and all where everyone, like usually there are a lot of platforms where people give talks, but with this we want to give the opportunity for the participants to directly interact. I have a question, I want to appreciate something, or I want to ask something. Participants can ask questions to these gurus that are coming on this platform. So the dream of Breath Universe is every person on earth is connected to breath, okay? And I'm not telling only Breath Universe is doing it, or Breath Universe has to do it. Doesn't matter who does, doesn't matter what happens. So Breath Universe is also part of this global huge wave that is happening through lakhs of hundreds and thousands of platforms that are there right now on earth. Breath Universe is also holding the hand in hand with these organizations, even like Pyramidtimes, and walking the earth to make it a more prosperous and happy earth.
That's a great vision indeed. Everyone is striving one or the other way through this to this goal. And what is your final message to the viewers?
My final message to the users is life is a pretty simple affair. It is not a complicated affair. There are no problems in life. There are only opportunities. So that is my understanding. See, the moment we say, even when doing meditation or practicing spirituality, don't be so serious about it. Don't think we are special or we are something. Everyone is same and life is simple, and we all have same sort of problems. See, I've been practicing meditation from past 20 years. I have my problems too, but I take them as opportunities. I suffer. Yes, suffering is also part of the being. So everything will be there. Every ingredient will be there. So don't miss any ingredient of life. Become more and more sensible to each and every ingredient. The moment you put the food in on your tongue, you should be able to identify every ingredient that is used in that product, in that food. Likewise, in life also, the moment any situation come into your life, you should be able to sense what that situation is and then make the most out of it and grab the opportunity and win the life. My message is, don't delay, catch the breath, catch the life.
Beautiful message that there are no problems, but only opportunities and possibilities that are there in our future. And it is how we see it.
Exactly. Beautiful. Thanks a lot, Veena, for inviting me to this great platform, and wonderful questions as well. So I tried my best to explain. If anyone has any questions, more questions, then definitely please do reach out to me at journeytobeing@gmail.com is my mail ID. journeytobeing@gmail.com, or you can reach out to Pyramidtimes, who may give my contact as well. So if you have any questions, anything that you would like to share, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much for your time as well, Veena. Thank you. So everyone, all the viewers also, please subscribe to Pyramid Times. It is a wonderful platform, and it is connecting amazing programs. And please subscribe and be part of the spiritual wave. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hari.
All right. Thank you so much.